Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and today we're going to be looking up a little bit of stuff that is considered what I would say quite interesting and what is going to be happening across the state or the country. Um, so yeah, we're going to go exactly onto what's going on here. And kind of see what people are going to be facing because things like this um, is going to be happening in California as well. So, yeah, we're going to get that out of the way. Also, I am also looking at this Scott Weiner bill, which is also has a lot to do with some of the legislation that he's been doing for the bill that's 207, which I'll be showing you guys exactly kind of what he's proposing here. So, without further ado, we'll get into this article. And then we'll go to the next one. Mother loses daughter, has custody rights stripped after refusing to bow to the radical left. Report. Sophia Cooper's mother, Janet Cooper, has not had visitation rights with her in 3 years. And the reason why has placed the Chicago mother at the center of a media firestorm and a legal nightmare. She insists, "My child is a girl." Back in the summer of 2019, Sophia announced to her father during a visit with him that she was transgender. Sophia's mother didn't have the slightest clue what was coming. Sophia was only 12 years old, and her father began court proceedings, claiming that his daughter was no longer mentally or emotionally safe with her mother, Jeanette, who formerly had joint custody of the girl for 6 days and 7 nights per week, according to Independent Women's Forum. A heated custody investigation ensued. The examination required both parents to undergo a psychological tests, home inspections, and character evaluations, with interviews being conducted with their friends and family who had observed the relationship between mother and child and could testify to it. Usually, child protective services have a definition of what it means to be unsafe, to either be abused or neglected. There was no evidence they had done anything like that. The final report of the investigation remains unknown as they are not made public. After that report came out, I thought surely this is going to be resolved itself. Clearly, there is no finding of abuse or neglect. They didn't find anything about me that is unsafe, Jeanette said. However, the court stated that the Jeanette would need to further her understanding of an support of the minor child as relates to the child's gender dysphoria. But the thing that I clearly am not complying with is this concept that good parenting means that you affirm a child's claim that there is something wrong with their body. I'm not willing to do that. I don't think that's good parenting, and I have understanding of the child's transgender identity. I don't think it's the concept that they want me to have, which is a good understanding. Because if a child says that their arm is broken, and then and for instance, their arm is obviously not broken, do you just, or do you take away a kid when the kid's arm is literally not broken? Or say that, oh, the child's not eating vegetables and the child the child doesn't want to eat vegetables and it's obviously good for the child to eat the vegetables. Is that causing harm to the child for not wanting to eat vegetables? You can't really put these things into concepts here because really, in reality, it's just stupid. Children don't know much of anything, especially kids that are between 0 and I would say even 12 don't know too much about themselves to begin with. And when you're making such life-altering decisions, such as gender dysphoria or you would even call it puberty blockers and stuff like that, which are permanent, by the way, this is a huge decision in people's life. Exactly what we're saying, like with people again, I would say, with doctors not wanting to issue like vasectomies and hysterectomies and stuff like that to vasectomies obviously for men and hysterectomies for women. Obviously, they are not. They don't usually do the procedures at a certain age, which is normally like mostly teenagers all the way up to maybe even late 20s. Mostly because they usually want to wait for them to wait until they actually want to have kids or not, because it's a permanent decision and it can really mess people up. So these type of decisions are not ideal for the child. It's very, very bad for the child. Janet has voted as a Democrat her entire life and considers herself a radical feminist. But she drew the line at the party's conception that a child can be transgender, stating plainly, "My child is a girl, and I won't lie to her or anyone else." I think that's good parenting. Here's the thing, Janet. When you vote Democrat, you vote people like this into the office. And again, when you vote Democrat, you have to blame yourself because these are the people that you vote for. Again, it's like you kind of do this yourself because when you vote for people like this and then you get people like this is your fault. People need to be aware when they have policies and you get the policies that you obviously want, right? And then those policies is essentially ruining your state or ruining your city. Maybe change your policies and try to see what would be better. Because obviously, the policies that you're putting in is being very detrimental to you. Now you lost your child because the policies and the reason who you voted for. So, do I feel bad that this woman lost her child? Yes, obviously, I do not want this woman to lose her child due to this stupid reasoning, because she's obviously not doesn't believe that her daughter is a boy or not a girl, so therefore that is not a boy and is actually a legitimate biological female. Yes, I feel bad for her. However, I also would put blame onto her because she votes these people in. Again, accountability. I understand when I vote for Republicans or whoever, that whatever type of shenanigans or evil stupid that they do that I didn't want to have that I voted in to be in office, that's my fault, because if they do any stupid shenanigans or whatever and they do these stupid policies and they put in these policies, that's my fault. It's my fault. They voted for that and I voted for them and they did these stupid policies, and that's what I have to take accountability for because that's what I did. This is the same thing what she needs to do. She needs to take accountability for the people because the Democrats go directly for this. Hopefully she learns her lesson. But you most likely won't. They don't critically think. These people don't critically think at all. They want me to have a certain understanding that there is such a thing as a child who is born transgender, and this is who they are. I do not believe that to be true. I will not lie to the court. I will not state otherwise. I believe too strongly in my oath to tell the truth. My child is a girl, and I won't lie to her or anyone else. I think that's good parenting. I don't think there any bounds on what it means to be female other than to exist in a female body, Janet told the IWF. There's nothing that I have to do to become female. I simply am. I can dress whatever I want, I can cut off my hair, grow it long, I can change my clothes, I am still female. Any behavior that I have is female because it is mine. Well, this is true. Even when it comes down to female body structure or even bones, is completely different. Women have wider hips because of childbirth. Women are usually more fatter in the areas in the hips and stuff like that because, again, childbirth. Like, there are the bone structure of a man and female is actually very different, and the chin and the face all changes through puberty and stuff like that because, again, our structure and everything that we are is completely different in that aspect. Yes, of course, men and women have similarities, obviously, but normally most women and men, for the most part, at least when it comes to bone structure and all that stuff, is completely different. So when you try to mess with stuff like this, and you put puberty blockers, or you put hormones and stuff on them, it completely changes them. It can really mess them up. Not only that, it sterilizes them as well. So it's not beneficial. And what's worse, most women, I think I did so in the video before, most women of today are being the ones to identify because, it's society standards, and women want to identify with, obviously, the society standards of what's correct. Well, unfortunately, this is being a very bad influence for women in particular. Obviously, this is happening to men, and it's also obviously a bad influence for men as well, because they get into this stuff as well, but women are seeing it higher in droves, and this is a problem. The court ordered Janet to undergo reconciliation family therapy with the goal of reconciling her with her daughter, and then she learned of a requirement that Sophia's stepmother, a psychologist, joined the sessions. Jeanette said that she had been looking forward to it and that it was the only issue she had. The requirement would give the stepmother access to everything, including Jeanette's private sessions with her daughter, which is ridiculous. Naturally, she didn't consent, and the therapist informed her that if she did not, she wouldn't be able to see her daughter again. I was told that if I don't agree to have stepmom there, then my child is refusing to see me, Janet said. I had no choice. I wanted to see her so badly. Janet was able to negotiate a legal commitment from the court to prevent her daughter from medically transitioning, without a court order to Janette's written permission, but keeping her daughter from going under the knife came at a heavy cost. To do so, she gave up her ability to spend time with her daughter entirely. People who are in prison have more communication with their child than I do, Jeanette said. That's wrong. She's only seen her daughter for 8.5 years since her father refused to return her home on July 2019. Jeanette has the ability to petition the court to see Sophia following consultation with a therapist and attendance of 3 support group sessions for parents or guardians of gender-identifying children at the Gender and Sex Development Program at Lurie's Children's Hospital, a program that per its website claims to help in providing our families with education and gender-affirming clinical care. She has since been to 5 of the required sessions as quickly as they would let her enroll. However, the court order therapist had no opening since the order in fall 2021, and her wait list is still full. I'm glad to do whatever is necessary and whatever is required to be able to contact with my daughter, Jen said. At this point, I don't know what more than I could do. Well, what more you can do, Jeanette, is first off, maybe not vote Democrat, because when you vote Democrat, you get these lunatics in, and try to actually fight back against this stuff. That's the type of stuff that you can do. If you don't actually fight back against this type of stuff, and you don't make yourself known, you're going to have more of this BS happen. Vote differently, because you have to know that this is the Democratic way and what they want. So don't give them what they want. This is happening, of course, in California, where Scott Weiner, by the way, introduces the SB 107 bill, and which is Winner Gender-affirming healthcare, which, by the way, which I made a video of this before, but essentially what it means, which is, I'll put the 2 here, is that existing law, known as the Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction Enforcement Act, provides a state-inclusive jurisdictional basis for making initial child custody determination and person California court to assume temporary emergency jurisdiction in specified circumstances. Existing law permits a court to decline to exercise its jurisdiction if it determines that it is an inconvenient forum and a court in another state is a more appropriate forum. Existing law permits California court to decline to exercise its jurisdiction if the petitioner has wrongfully taken the child from another state or engaged in similar reprehensible conduct except as specified. Existing law prohibits a court from considering the taking or retention of a child from a person who has legal custody of the child if there is evidence that the taking or retention was a result of domestic violence. The bill would prohibit the enforcement of an order based on another state's law authorizing a child to be removed from their parent or guardian based on that parent or guardian allowing their child to receive gender-affirming health care. The bill would prohibit a court from finding that it is an inconvenient forum where the law or policy of another state that may take jurisdiction limits the ability of a parent to obtain gender-affirming care or gender-affirming mental health care as defined, and the provision of such care is at issue in the case before the court. The bill will authorize a court to temporary jurisdiction because the child has been unable to obtain gender-affirming health care. The bill would additionally prohibit a court from considering the taking or retention of a child from a person who has the legal custody of the child if taking the retention was obtaining gender-affirming health care from a mental health. The bill will declare its provision to be severable. So, they essentially want to be able to take kids away if you're not going to do like the affirming care and stuff like that. That's pretty much what this bill, SB 107, does. And we all have to know that this is the danger and what a lot of the liberal cities are going to do. They want to put this type of stuff in, and we have to snip it in the bud and immediately stop it. Hopefully Californians wake up, and Chicago people wake up, but that place is already a hellhole. They're losing businesses and stuff like that, so that place is already really bad. But at the end of the day, this is the problem. And Jeanette, I'm telling you right now, better vote differently to be able to have your kids. Otherwise, you're going to be SOL, and you only have yourself to blame. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you next time. Take care.